Good morning, everyone. Could you please confirm? Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, perfect. Hi, guys. From today onwards, we are going to understand Linux and AWS cloud. So this is one of the module in our JRTP course. Okay. And if you want to understand the real-time project development, if you want to work with the real-time projects, having the knowledge on Linux operating system and AWS cloud will be very helpful. Okay, let's get started. So first, what is this Linux and why we need to go for this Linux operating system? Okay, guys, first let me tell you what are the use cases where we are going to use Linux in the real time. In the real time, application deployment will happen on Linux machines only. Okay, in the real time, whatever the projects we are developing, the project deployment will happen on the Linux operating system only. So tools will be installed on Linux machines only. So what kind of tools will be installed on the Linux machines? For example, Docker software, Kubernetes software, Jenkins software, Nexus software, okay, SonarQube software. In the real time, we are going to use several tools as part of our project development process for code review, for code deployment, for code CI/CD, okay, and for orchestration, for containerization. Lot of tools we are going to use in the real time. All those tools will be installed on the Linux machines only. And another important thing, application log files will be created on the Linux machines only. Application log files will be stored in Linux machine only. Okay, so these are the several use cases where we are going to use Linux operating system in the real time. For the project development purpose, when you are doing the coding, then you will use Windows machine only. But when you are going to deploy that code, then definitely you have to work with the Linux operating system. Application deployment will happen on the Linux machine only. And what are the tools we are going to use in the application? Those tools will be installed on the Linux machines only, like Docker, Kubernetes, Jenkins, Nexus, SonarQube, EFK stack, which is used to monitor logs of the application. All these tools also will be installed on the Linux operating system. And when we are running the application, log files will be generated, right? Those log files also will be stored in the Linux machine only. So here, without having the knowledge on the Linux operating system, working in the real time will become very difficult. That means it will become difficult for you to survive in the job as a developer if you don't have the proper knowledge on this Linux operating system. Are you guys clear with my point? So why we are teaching Linux in our Java project development course? Many people will think that, Ashok, why are you teaching Linux? So if you in the real time, if anybody having the real time experience, at least 1 year of experience in the real time, then they will understand the importance of the Linux operating system. Every day we are going to work with Linux machines in the real time. Our application deployment, our tools, our log files, everything will be there on the Linux machine only. So if you have proper knowledge on the Linux, then easily you can survive in the real time. So because of these reasons, we are going to learn the Linux. And as I told you, some tools we are going to use in the project, right? Those tools also I'm going to install in the Linux operating system only. The tools I'm going to install on the Linux operating system only. I hope you got the clarity why we are going for Linux, where we will use Linux OS. Okay, I hope you got the clarity. Now, so let's understand what is this Linux and why this much demand is there for Linux operating system. First of all, what is operating system? Can anyone tell me, guys, what is operating system? So we all are using computers from so many years. So in every computer, operating system will be available. Can anyone tell me what is operating system? Come on, guys. Can anyone tell me what is operating system?
Manages computer hardware based on its functionalities.
Okay. So operating system, it is a software. Operating system is a software which acts as mediator between user and computer. So we are purchasing a computer, right? If you want to use any computer, then definitely operating system is required. So in our laptops, we are installing operating system, Windows operating system, Linux operating system, Unix operating system. Like that, we are installing several operating systems in our computer. So why we are installing that operating system? That operating system is a software which is acting as a mediator between the users and computer. So users will communicate with the computer. Users will communicate with the computers using OS. Okay, OS is a software that is acting as a mediator between user and computer. Users will communicate with their computer by using operating system. So without OS, we cannot use the computer. Okay, without OS, we can't use any computer. If computer does not have the operating system, then there is no use of that computer. If you want to use the computer, then definitely operating system is required in the computer. If that computer does not have the operating system, then we cannot use that computer, guys. So operating system is a software which is acting as a mediator between user and computer, and users will communicate with that computer by using operating system. Without operating system, we cannot use any computer. So here OS provides platform to run our applications in computer. For example, Notepad is one application in the computer. Calculator is one application in the computer. Browser is one application in the computer. Okay. Tomcat server is one application in the computer. Okay. Eclipse IDE is one application in the computer. In order to run these applications in the computer, then we need a platform. That platform will be provided by operating system. So in the computer, if operating system is not available, then there is no use of that computer. So it is a software which acts as a mediator between the user and computer. User will communicate with the computer by using operating system. Without that operating system, we cannot use any computer. And this operating system provides a platform to run our applications in the computer, like a Notepad, calculator, browser, Tomcat, Eclipse, etc. All these applications we are running in the computer with the help of operating system only. We have several operating systems in the market. Okay, we have several operating systems in market. Okay, so we have famous Windows operating system is available, Linux operating system is available, Mac operating system is available, Android operating system is available, iOS operating system is available. All these things are comes under operating systems only. Okay, I hope you got the clarity. What is operating system? Operating system is a software which acts as a mediator between users and computer. We are the users, we are purchasing the computers. But if you want to use that computer, then we have to install one software in that computer. That software is called operating system. A user will communicate with the computers by using operating system only. That operating system is providing a platform to run the applications in the computer. Like I want to use a notepad in the computer. Then, so we should open that notepad, we should type the data. To run that notepad, a platform is required. That platform is provided by the operating system. So in the market, there are several operating systems available, like Windows operating system, Linux operating system, Mac operating system, Android and iOS. So let's talk about Windows operating system, which is our favorite operating system, right? So everybody will use Windows operating system only. Okay, so what is this Windows operating system? Okay, so this Windows operating system developed by Microsoft company, guys. Windows operating system developed by Microsoft company, Bill Gates. Okay, so Windows operating system developed by a company called Microsoft. Bill Gates is the owner of that company. Okay, it is commercial operating system. That means licensed. If you want to use Windows OS, then we need to purchase the license of the Windows operating system. Windows operating system is very famous operating system in the market, guys. It is developed by Microsoft company, and Windows is commercial operating system. We need to purchase the license in order to use that Windows operating system, and it is single user based OS. So what is the meaning of single user based OS? If there is a Windows computer, at a time only one person can access that computer. So if you are having one Windows laptop or Windows machine, at a time only one person can connect with that Windows operating system. That is the reason Windows is called as single user based operating system. And the next one, security features are very less in Windows. So we need to install antivirus software. Okay, so in the Windows machines, we are going to install antivirus software to protect our files. Okay, in the Windows, we are going to install antivirus software. Why we are installing antivirus software in the Windows? Because security features are less in the Windows operating system. That's why we are going to install antivirus software in the Windows machine. Are you clear with my point? And here Windows is GUI based operating system. GUI based operating system, nothing but, so for everything graphical user interface is available. So for example, I want to create some folder. Okay, in order to create the folder, I can right click on my mouse and I can see new folder. That means this is a graphical user interface. This is a graphical user interface, new folder. So here I can create a folder. I can create a folder, whatever is required for us. Suppose I want to delete this folder, right click and delete it. Again, I want to create it. Now, new folder option is available. So we can perform operations in the Windows operating system by using GUI. That's why we call it as GUI based operating system. Windows is GUI based operating system, and Windows is recommended for personal use. Okay, Windows is recommended for personal use. What is the meaning of a personal use? Okay, for internet browsing. If you want to use internet, Windows laptop is recommended. Games, if you want to play the games, watch movies. Okay, now attend online classes, etc. Okay, if you want to perform such kind of operations, then Windows operating system is recommended. Okay, Windows OS developed by Microsoft company, and it is commercial operating system. I can say it is licensed operating system. Windows is single user based operating system, guys. Security features are very less in the Windows operating system. We need to install antivirus software to protect our files in the Windows operating system, and Windows is GUI based operating system. As I told you, GUI is nothing but graphical user interface will be available. So everything you can perform with this mouse right click and you can do these options. If I want to rename the file, I can go here and select rename. So this is GUI. Windows is called GUI based operating system, and Windows is recommended for personal use only. Windows is recommended for personal use only. And here personal use nothing but if you want to use internet, if you want to play some games, if you want to watch some movies, if you want to attend some online classes, for that Windows operating system is recommended. But in the real time, there are several challenges with the Windows operating system. First challenging thing, it is a commercial. So if you want to use a Windows machine in the company, they need to pay the license for the Microsoft. They need to purchase the license from the Microsoft in order to use Windows operating system. And the second problem, it is single user based operating system. Only one person can communicate with Windows machine at a time. Only one user can access Windows machine at a time. I have a team. So there are 5 people available in the team. 5 people want to work with the same Windows machine at a time. It's not possible because it is single user based operating system. And another challenging thing is there, security features are less in the Windows. Easily virus can attack our files. Easily virus can attack to the files available in the Windows operating system. Okay, so because of these challenges with the Windows operating system in the industry, companies will go for Linux operating system. Okay, to overcome the challenges with the Windows operating system, companies are preferring Linux operating system, guys. You understand what are the challenges with the Windows operating system? Can anyone unmute the mic and tell me what are the challenges you can see in the Windows OS? I need response, guys. I want session to be interactive. It is not like one-way traffic.
Security is not there in Windows operating system.
Can anyone speak out? What are the challenges you can see in the Windows operating system? Bhagyasri, can you speak loudly?
It is single user based OS.
It is
single user based OS.
Single user based OS. What is the meaning of single user based OS?
Means at a time only one user will be work on the one operating system, one Windows operating system. Multiple.
Yes. At a time only one person can communicate with the Windows machine. That is one problem. What is the second problem with the Windows?
Security is very less.
Yes.
Security features are less in the Windows. That's why antivirus softwares we have to install. We need to purchase the Windows license and we need to purchase the antivirus license also. Costly, commercial. Okay. And what is another problem?
One more thing.
Recommended for personal use only.
Yes, we can use only, it is recommended for personal use only. So suppose for example, I want to run my application. Okay. In order to run my application, so there are several tools required, guys. So for example, for my application, I need several machines to run my application. Docker server. Docker should be installed on one machine. Okay. And Kubernetes server is required. For Kubernetes, I need 5 machines. 5 machines are required to install Kubernetes software. I want to set up a Jenkins server. For the Jenkins server, I need 2 machines. Okay. I want to set up a SonarQube in my project. For SonarQube, I need 2 machines. Okay. I want to set up a Tomcat server. For Tomcat server, I need 2 machines. I want to set up a database server for my application. 4 machines are required. Okay. And I want to store the logs of my application. For storing the logs of application, 1 machine is required. Okay. These all are for my application deployment only. So to run my application, I need Docker. Docker will be available in one computer. I need Kubernetes. That Kubernetes software requires 5 machines. I need Jenkins. For the setting of the Jenkins server, 2 machines I need. For SonarQube, 2 machines. For Tomcat server, 2 machines. For database, 4 machines. For logs, 1 machine. So 6, 7 plus 2, 9 plus 2, 11 plus 4, 15 plus 1, 16. 16 computers are required in order to set up my application execution in the real time. So we need to purchase the license for 16 operating systems, 16 antivirus licenses we have to purchase. So it is costly. The project cost is going to increase. The project cost is going to increase when you use Windows machines to run your application. Okay. So for Docker, I need to purchase a machine, right? For that license is required, operating system required, Kubernetes software, Jenkins software, SonarQube, all these softwares we can't install in one machine. If I install all these softwares in one machine, that machine will become slow. Out of memory issues can occur. Machine can crash. So that's why for every software in the real time, for every tool, different machines will be used. Docker software will be available in one machine. Jenkins software will be available on another machine. Okay, Kubernetes software will be available on the another machine. Database will be available on the another machine. Jenkins will be available on the another machine. So I need to deal with several machines in order to set up my application. That is called real-time infrastructure of the application. Are you guys getting my point? So when you are attending the classes, trainer will install all the softwares in the single computer, will run the application. Then you will not get that real-time feeling. If you want to understand the real-time project development, the infrastructure also should match with the real-time standards. Infrastructure nothing but the servers that we are using to develop the project, to test the project, and to deploy the project. So that is the main reason we are starting this AWS classes, Linux classes first, so that you will get a hands-on experience with the real-time standards. You will understand the real-time infrastructure. If you understand the real-time infrastructure, then you can understand the real-time project development. So as part of this course, I'm going to take these many machines in the AWS cloud. All the servers I will configure in the different machines. Then we will develop the application and we will deploy the application. That is called real-time project. Are you guys able to follow me? Now in a real time, in the company when we are working on the project, these many machines are required. So if I go with the Windows, that is a commercial operating system, only one person can access at a time. Security features are very less in the Windows operating system. And every time we need to install antivirus software in the Windows. Easily virus can attack for the files in the Windows operating system. That is the reason to overcome all the problems of the Windows operating system, we are going to use Linux operating system in the real time. Are you guys able to follow me? What are the challenges available with the Windows? Are you guys able to follow me? What are the challenges available with the Windows operating system? Yes. To overcome the challenges of the Windows operating system, we are going with the Linux operating system. So what is this Linux operating system? It is community-based operating system, guys. It is community-based operating system. Community-based OS. Nothing but, so here Windows belongs to Microsoft company and it is commercial operating system. But when it comes to Linux operating system not belongs to any company. It is a community-based operating system. Linux is free and open source. Linux is free and open source operating system. You no need to pay the money to use the Linux operating system because it is a community-based operating system. It is free of cost and it is open source also. The Linux source code is also available for free. You no need to pay anything. Okay. And another biggest advantage with the Linux operating system is Linux is CLI based operating system. Windows is GUI based operating system, whereas Linux is CLI based operating system. What is the meaning of CLI based operating system? Everything we will do by using commands, guys. So now here, like this, we are going to open a terminal. So now I want to create one directory, mkdir 28JRTP. Now you see, I created one directory by using a command in the terminal. I want to delete that directory, rmdir, remove directory, okay, 28JRTP. The directory got deleted. So like this, whatever the operation that you want to perform in the machine, we will do that by using commands. So if you are using the operating system by using commands, then it is called as CLI based operating system. If you see, Windows is GUI based operating system, whereas Linux is CLI based operating system. Linux is community based operating system, and this Linux is free of cost and it is open source operating system. Linux is CLI based operating system. And so Linux is multi-user based operating system. Linux is multi-user based OS. Nothing but if there is one Linux machine, multiple users can connect with the single Linux machine at a time and can perform multitasking. So there is one Docker server available in the project. There is one Docker server available in the project. So multiple users can connect to that Docker server at a time. Okay. So we have a team, multiple people are working in the team. So in our project, we have taken one machine. In this machine, we have configured Docker software. So this is called the machine which is having Docker is called as Docker server. Okay, Docker software is available in this machine. So this machine is Linux machine. So that means I have taken one computer with Linux operating system. In that computer, Docker software got installed. Now, one person is available in Hyderabad. My team member is available in Hyderabad. Okay. Then this person can connect with that Docker server. Okay. And there is another team member in the US. Okay. So one developer is available in Hyderabad location. Another developer is available in the USA. Both people can connect with the same server at a time. They can perform the operation. Actually, this server is available in the UK. For example, my Docker server is available in the UK. I have taken a Linux machine. That Linux machine is available in the UK. Okay. In that Linux machine, I have installed Docker software. Now the developer who is available in Hyderabad location and USA location, these developers can connect with the same Docker machine at a time and they can perform multitasking. This is called multi-user based operating system. If it is a Windows operating system, only one person can connect at a time, can perform operation at a time. But if it is a Linux operating system, multiple people, multiple team members can connect to the same machine at a time. Multi-user based operating system. This is another advantage with the Linux, guys. Okay, Linux is a community-based operating system, and Linux is free and open source operating system. Linux is CLI-based operating system. Linux is multi-user based operating system. Security features are very high. Security features are very high in Linux. So no need to install antivirus software for the Linux machines. For Windows machines, antivirus is required, but for the Linux machines, antivirus software not required. Antivirus software is not required for the Linux computers. When your machine is having Linux operating system, then for that machine, antivirus software is not required, guys. Are you able to follow me? Linux is community-based operating system. Linux is a free and open source operating system. Linux is CLI-based operating system. Linux is multi-user based operating system. Security features are very high in the Linux operating system. Antivirus software is not required for the Linux operating system. Okay, then, sir, who developed this Linux operating system? Linux OS developed by a person whose name is Linus Torvalds. Windows developed by Microsoft company under the leadership of Bill Gates. Okay, but Linux operating system developed by a person called Linus Torvalds. This Linus Torvalds developed this Linux operating system, gave it for free of cost. That is the reason we are calling Linux is community-based operating system. So you can see that person Linus Torvalds. Okay, Linus Torvalds. He is the founder of the Linux operating system, guys. He is the founder of the Linux operating system. He is from the Finland country. Okay, so he is the person who developed this Linux operating system. Okay, good, guys. So I hope you got the clarity. What is Windows operating system and what is Linux operating system? Windows is only for personal use, whereas Linux is highly recommended to maintain the servers. Linux is highly recommended for managing the servers, managing the applications. Linux is highly recommended to manage servers like application servers, app servers, database servers, etc. So when you want to set up your application in the real time, when you want to deploy your application in the real time, so if you want to install Docker, you want to install Jenkins, Kubernetes, Nexus, all these kind of softwares will be installed in the Linux operating system in the real time. Linux machines will be used in the real time project. Okay, so several machines are required for one project. So for Docker, some machines are required. For Kubernetes, some machines required. For Jenkins, some machines required. Okay, for database, some machines required. For log files, some machines are required. So several machines are required in the real time for one project. So those machines are going to use Linux operating system in the real time. Linux is community-based operating system. Linux is free and open source operating system. Linux is CLI based operating system. Linux is multi-user based operating system. Security features are very high in the Linux operating system. For Linux machines, antivirus software is not required. And this Linux operating system developed by a person called Linus Torvalds. And it is highly recommended to manage servers like app servers, DB servers, okay, Docker, Jenkins, Kubernetes, etc. All these kind of servers we are going to configure by using Linux machines only. Are you guys able to follow me? Can anyone tell me what are the advantages with the Linux? I want the session to be interactive, guys. So can anyone give me the summary? What are the advantages with the Linux OS? You can unmute your mic and you can speak out.
Sir, it is a free and open source.
Okay.
And it is CLI based operating system,
Okay.
which is based on multi-user. So the security features are also very high in Linux.
Surya, please go on mute. Yeah. Yes, Bibu, can you please repeat
sir,
again?
Yeah, like it is a free and open source operating system, which is Linux community based on operating system, and it is also a multi-user based and a command line interface based operating system,
Right.
which wherever the security features are very high, and the antivirus software also not required, so it will be very highly secure features.
Yes, sir. So Linux is a free and open source operating system. It is a CLI based operating system. Security features are high, so that's why antivirus software is not required. It is developed by a person called Linus Torvalds, and it is highly recommended to manage the servers in the real time, like app servers, database servers, Docker, Kubernetes, Jenkins, what type of servers that you want to use in the real time project, in the real environment, right? For those, Linux machines are highly recommended. Now, let's understand Linux history. How this Linux up when the Windows OS is already available, or some Unix operating systems are already available, why this Linux OS came into market? What is the history behind this Linux operating system? So earlier, guys, Linus Torvalds is the person, right, who developed this Linux operating system. Linus Torvalds identified some challenges, or I can say some issues, some challenges or some issues in the Unix OS. Before this Linux operating system, Unix operating system was available. That was a commercial operating system. Now, that is also CLI based operating system. Linus Torvalds was using that Unix operating system before finding this Linux. He identified some challenges or issues in the Unix operating system. At that time, the Linus Torvalds identified some challenges or issues in the Unix OS, and he told to that Unix company, boss, I'm using your operating system from so many days. I'm facing these challenges with your operating system. There are some issues available in your operating system. Can you make some changes to your operating system so that it will be more user friendly, so that multiple people can use your operating system easily if you make these changes? So he has given some suggestions to Unix company to change their operating system. But Unix operating system at that time, it was very famous. So those people did not give the respect to the Linus Torvalds suggestions. Whatever the suggestions he told, those people did not accept his suggestions. Then Linus Torvalds started thinking that why I need to beg them every day to make the changes to their operating system? Why can't I develop my own operating system? So whatever the suggestions he is having, whatever the ideas he is having, what are the challenges he identified in the Unix operating system? By overcoming those challenges, he want to develop one new operating system. He want to give that operating system to the market for free of cost. At that time, Unix operating system was famous and it is commercial operating system, and there are some challenges available. So to overcome all the problems of that Unix operating system, Linus Torvalds started developing his own operating system. So Linus Torvalds identified one operating system available in the market. Linus identified one OS which is matching with his ideas. Okay, that is Linux OS. Unix is available. He identified some challenges. Okay, then he identified, Linus identified one OS available in the market which is matching with his ideas, that is Linux OS. Okay, now Linus Torvalds used Linux OS code and made some changes and released into market as new operating system. So his name is Linus Torvalds. He used Linux operating system. Finally, he produced Linux operating system. Okay, from his name, he has taken 2 characters, and from the Linux, he has taken 3 characters and he named it as Linux operating system. The person name is Linus Torvalds. He used Linux OS. Okay, so Unix was there, but in the Unix there are some challenges available. So he want to provide some new operating system to the market with more user friendly and for free of cost. So he identified Linux OS available in the market, which is having some similar functionality what he is expecting. Then Linus Torvalds used Linux OS code and made some changes and released into market as a new operating system. That operating system is very famous today, that is Linux operating system. How he gave the name as a Linux operating system? From his name he has taken 2 characters, that is Li. From Linux he has taken 3 characters, Nux. So finally he named it as Linux operating system. This is the history of the Linux OS, how the Linux OS came into market. So who is the developer of the Linux OS, guys? Linus Torvalds. Linus Torvalds is the person who developed this operating system, and he provided that operating system for free of cost. It is open source, community based operating system. Anybody can use it, no need to pay the money. Companies also can use the license for free of cost. But Windows is not free. Windows is commercial operating system. License is mandatory in order to use Windows operating system. Now, next one. So Linus Torvalds provided the Linux OS for free of cost and he released into market. Then what people will do if something is available for free of cost? The source code is available for free of cost. What people will do, guys? What companies will do?
Of course, they modify that.
They will down.
Every company will download the source code of the Linux operating system. They will make some experiments on that, right? That's where Linux distributions came into market. Okay, as Linus Torvalds provided Linux operating system source code for free of cost, so many companies has done experiments on the Linux operating system source code. Okay, Linus Torvalds provided Linux OS code for free of cost. Okay, so what happened when this person has provided that code for free of cost? So many companies downloaded that and modified according to their requirement. Linus Torvalds developed this Linux OS by using Linux operating system. He provided the source code for the free of cost. He told that it is a community-based OS. Anybody can use it. Not only OS, you can take the source code of the Linux also. Then so many companies downloaded that source code and modified it according to their requirement and released into market with their brand names. Those are called as Linux distributions. Linus Torvalds provided the source code of the Linux. What these companies has done, these companies downloaded that source code, they modified that source code according to their requirement, and they provided another operating system into market. Those are called as Linux distributions. So many companies downloaded Linux OS source code. So many companies downloaded Linux OS source code and modified according to their requirement and released into market with their brand names. Those are called as Linux distributions. Whatever they have provided, those are called as Linux distributions, or we can say Linux flavors. For the Linux operating system, so many distributions are available, or we can say so many distributions are available for the Linux operating system. So many companies downloaded the Linux operating system and modified according to their requirement and released into market. So many companies downloaded Linux OS source code and modified according to their requirement and released into market with their brand names. Those are called as Linux distributions or Linux flavors. Today we have more than 200 plus distributions of Linux operating system. We have 200 plus Linux distributions in the market. What is the meaning of that? 200 plus companies downloaded the source code of the Linux operating system. They modified that source code according to their requirement and they released into the market with their own brand name. That is called Linux distributions. What are the Linux distributions available in the market? We have Amazon Linux. We have Ubuntu Linux. Amazon
Red
Linux
Hat.
available. Ubuntu Linux is available. CentOS Linux is available. Red Hat Linux is
Kali
available.
Linux.
Debian Linux is available. SUSE Linux is available. Kali
Kali
Linux
Linux.
is available. Fedora Linux is available, etc. These all are called as Linux distributions. They are also Linux operating systems only, but they are from different companies. For Windows, do we have any distribution, guys?
No.
No. Why we don't have any distribution for the Windows? It is a commercial. People don't have the source code of the Windows. If a Windows source code is available, then companies will modify that and will provide a new operating system. But Windows is commercial operating system from the Microsoft. Source code is not available, so people cannot modify. Whereas Linux is a community-based operating system. Source code is available for free of cost. That's why so many companies are taking that source code, modifying that according to their requirement. They are releasing that new operating system into market. The new operating system which is coming, they are called as Linux distributions. Linux is a big tree. Linux is a big tree. Under that tree, there are so many childs are available. Okay, Amazon Linux, Ubuntu Linux, CentOS Linux, Red Hat, Debian, SUSE, Kali, Fedora, like this, 200 plus Linux distributions are available in the market. So what is the meaning of Linux distribution? Can anyone tell me?
These are flavors of Linux.
These are flavors of Linux. They are also
Linux
Linux operating systems only, but from different companies. So who is the founder of the Linux first?
Linus Torvalds.
Linus Torvalds.
Linus Torvalds. How he developed that operating system? By using Linux operating system.
Linux.
Linux
Sir,
operating
is
system.
Linux is open source?
Yeah, that also open source operating system. That's why he has taken that and he modified according to his requirement. He released into market as a community OS. So whatever the source code he provided, so many companies downloaded that, they modified that, and they released into market as a different operating system. Those are called Linux distributions. So today we have 200 plus distributions available for the Linux operating system. You can use any one of the distribution. And some companies will use Ubuntu distribution, some companies will use Amazon Linux, some companies will use Red Hat Linux. So there are so many distributions available for the Linux operating system. So according to the requirement, they are going to use any one of the distribution. Here I'm going to show you how to work with Amazon Linux as well as Ubuntu Linux also. In our classes, we are going to work with 2 Linux distributions so that you will get some clarity. So I'm going to use, initially I will be using Amazon Linux for the practice, then in the middle of the classes I will use Ubuntu Linux also. We are going to work with 2 Linux distributions, Amazon Linux and Ubuntu Linux. So minor changes will be available, guys. Minor changes will be available when you go for different distributions of the Linux operating system. In the Windows operating system, versions will be available. Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, Windows 11. But in the Linux, distributions will be available. Amazon Linux, Ubuntu Linux, CentOS, Red Hat, Debian, etc. Are you clear?
Yes, Ashok.
Guys, are you able to follow me? So many people
Yes,
are
sir.
new to my class. Is my pitch understandable for you? Whatever the notes I am writing, I hope it is more readable. That will help you for revising the concept after the class is completed.
It's reachable to everyone.
Yeah, reachable to everyone. If anybody feels that I'm going speed, please let me know so that I will repeat the concept again. Basically, guys, my voice will be little bit speed. So if anyone not able to catch the point which I am discussing in the class, please let me know in the chat box, or you have option to unmute also. You can ask me at any point of time so that I can repeat that. The main agenda, whatever that we are discussing in the class, it should go into your brain directly. You no need to revise the notes also after the class is completed. Subject should be injected into your brain. So all of you please confirm, able to follow me?
Yes.
Anybody feels that I'm going speed?
Yes, sir. Follow.
Good for everyone?
Yes, sir. Following.
Good. Perfect. So with this we understood. First of all, we discussed about where we will use Linux OS in real time. So can anyone tell me where? First of all, you guys joined for Java real time project course, but I'm teaching Linux for you. Anybody having any confusion? Sir, we are from Java background. We came here to learn the Java project, but why are you teaching the Linux? Anybody having that question?
No.
So you know that, right? Why we are learning Linux now? Why we are learning Linux now?
In servers, this is the base operating system where we deploy applications.
In the real time. So in one project, minimum 20 to 30 Linux machines will be available in the project. So if you are working in one project in the real time, minimum to minimum 20 to 30 Linux machines will be used. That is called infrastructure. In the real time, the project infrastructure will be based on the Linux operating system only. Without having the knowledge on the Linux operating system, we cannot run the project in the real time. You will not get the real time feeling if we don't use Linux machines in the project. Okay, the application deployment will happen on the Linux machines only. The real-time tools will be installed on the Linux machines only. Application log files also will be available on the Linux machines only. As a developer, every day we are going to use Linux machines in the real time. Okay, so if you want to learn the tools properly with the real-time standards, then definitely we need to configure these tools in the real time, because in every company they will follow the same process. Right. So here, because of these reasons, we are learning Linux first. I want to give you 100% real-time project. I don't want to install all the tools in the Windows and complete the project. No. If you install everything in the Windows, then that is just like a course. It's not like a project. If you want to learn the project, then we have to follow that standard. To follow that standard, you need to learn all these concepts. I told you an important point. This course is not only for getting the job. this course to survive in the job also. To survive in the job means everyday work you should be able to complete on time. To complete your works on time, you should understand all these concepts. And guys, I will tell you the truth. In my initial days of career, when I got my first job, due to lack of knowledge on all these tools and Linux operating system, I lost my job also. I got my first job. Within 25 days, I lost my job because that day my manager told me to identify the issue available in the production by checking the log file. That log file is available in the Linux operating system. At that time, I don't know what is Linux. I don't know how to check the log file. I lost my job. So I don't want my students to face such kind of issues in the company. That is the reason we are giving this complete real-time standard content so that you can easily survive in the job. Are you guys getting my point? What are the problems I have faced? I don't want my students to face the same problem again. Good. So we understood what is operating system. It is a software to communicate with a computer. Operating system will act as a mediator between the users and computers. Without operating system, we can't use any computer. So there are several operating systems available in the market, like Windows operating system and Linux operating system. Windows is GUI based and one user can access at a time. It is commercial. Okay. Security features are less. Antivirus is required for that. Then in order to work with the projects in the real time, then definitely we need to go for Linux operating system only. Linux is community based operating system. It is a free and open source. Anyone can use it. And Linux is CLI based operating system. And Linux is multi-user based operating system. Security features are very high in the Linux operating system. Antivirus software is not required when you are going for Linux. Okay. So in the real time, for one project, minimum 20 to 30 servers are required, 30 machines are required. All those machines will be based on the Linux operating system only. How this Linux operating system came into market? Linus Torvalds identified challenges with the Unix. So he used Linux operating system and he developed the new operating system called Linux operating system. Has the Linus Torvalds provided Linux operating system for free of cost? So many companies downloaded that Linux operating system source code and they modified according to their requirement and they released into market with their own brand names. Those are called as Linux distributions. We have 200 plus Linux distributions in the market like Amazon Linux, Ubuntu, CentOS, Red Hat, Debian, SUSE, Kali, Fedora, etc. Are you guys clear with my point? Are you guys clear with my point?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Good. Next one, Linux machine setup, guys. Now we need to do the practicals. We understood theoretically Linux operating system. What is that and where we are going to use it? Now we need to do some practicals with the Linux operating system. Linux machine setup. Linux machine setup. Guys, see here, Linux machine we can set up in 2 ways or 3 ways we can do that. Okay. So the first one, Linux machine setup, first approach 1, install Linux OS directly in computer. How we are installing Windows operating? We are purchasing a laptop. So by default nowadays, companies, whenever you purchase a laptop, by default they are giving one operating system for you. Windows operating system they are giving when you purchase a laptop. So you can remove that Windows OS and you can install Linux OS directly in the computer. That is approach 1. Okay. Then second approach, we can use virtualization. We can use VirtualBox and install Linux OS as guest OS. Linux as guest OS in Windows. We are already having Windows operating system. In the Windows operating system, we can install one VirtualBox like Oracle VirtualBox will be available. Using that VirtualBox, you can install Linux also. That means in one computer, you can use 2 operating systems, Windows and Linux. Windows is our main operating system. Linux is our guest operating system. That means in one computer, we are using two operating systems. That concept is called virtualization. But if you go for this virtualization concept, your systems will become slow, guys, because two operating systems if you are using in the machine, then definitely the performance is going to be down. So you need high configuration systems in order to do that. So the easiest approach, third approach that we are going to follow, approach 3, set up Linux VM in AWS cloud. Okay, so if you want to work with the Linux operating system, what are the possible ways available? So if you have a separate laptop, directly you can install the Linux operating system in that computer. That is approach 1. And second approach, sir, I don't have a second laptop. I have only one laptop with the Windows operating system. So can I install the Linux also in the same laptop? Yes. In one computer, you can install two operating systems also by using VirtualBox, which is virtualization concept. But if you go for the virtualization, then the system resources will be utilized effectively, and sometimes that may go down also. Sometimes it will become slow, guys. Basically, running two operating systems is not easy, right? So what is the third approach and best approach for us without disturbing our laptop? What is the third approach that we can follow? We can set up Linux virtual machine in AWS cloud. So that is the reason yesterday I told you how to create Linux virtual, how to create account in the AWS cloud. So in the AWS, we are having free tier account. 1 year, we can use AWS services for free of cost. You can create virtual machine in the AWS cloud. So here, guys, we can set up Linux VM in the AWS cloud. For our practice, this is highly recommended. So out of 3 approaches, which is recommended for our practice? First one, second one, or third one?
Third one.
Third one is recommended. Why third one is recommended? Directly you can set up one virtual machine in the AWS cloud and you can use that virtual machine for your practice. You can set up a Linux virtual machine in the AWS cloud and you can use it for the practice. So what we are going to do in order to do the practicals here? What we are going to do the practicals here? We are having account in the AWS cloud, right? So this is AWS cloud platform. This is our AWS cloud platform. We created account in the AWS cloud. That is a free tier account only. We can use it for free of cost. In this AWS cloud, there is one service available. That service is called EC2 service, Elastic Compute Cloud. So in the AWS, there are 200 plus services available. So to create virtual machines, one service available. To create a database, one service available. Okay, for Docker, one service. For Kubernetes, one service. For security, one service. For network, one service. For storage, one service. 200 plus services available in the AWS. So first we will learn the Linux concepts. Then we will go for the AWS concepts, guys. AWS cloud also we are going to learn. So I'm providing AWS cloud topics also as part of the syllabus. Don't worry. Because without having the knowledge on the cloud, you will not get that real project feeling. Okay. Now, so we have created account in the AWS cloud, guys. Now, in the AWS, there is a service called EC2 service is available. EC2 stands for Elastic Compute Cloud. Using this EC2 service, I'm going to set up one Linux virtual machine. I'm going to set up one Linux virtual machine in the AWS cloud. Okay, so where our Linux machine will be available? In the AWS cloud platform. So whatever the Linux machine we are creating by using EC2 instance, this is called as EC2 instance, or people can call it as a server. People can call it as a virtual box. So multiple names we can use for this. Some people will call it as EC2 instance. Some people will call it as a server. Some people will call it as a virtual box. Some people will call it as a EC2 VM, virtual machine. So that machine is provided by AWS cloud. Sir, AWS cloud is giving one Linux virtual machine for us now. Is there any charge for that? No charge. 1 year free of cost. This machine, whatever we are creating in the AWS cloud by using EC2, that machine 1 year free. Monthly 750 hours you can use that machine. Okay, so they have given monthly 750 hours in order to run that machine. 1 year free. 1 year free, monthly 750 hours free of cost will be available. That means if you run one machine for 24/7, okay, 24 hours in a day, right? So if you run that machine 24 hours multiplied by 30 days, how many hours we are getting? 720 hours only. That means whatever the machine you are using in the AWS for your practice, if you start today, if you run for next 1 month continuously also, 720 hours only it will calculate. But what is the free they are giving? 750 hours they are giving for free. So we are safe. We don't get any bill amount from the AWS cloud for our practice. Monthly 750 hours you can run that machine in the AWS cloud for the next 1 year. 1 year free of cost. So, but here we should be careful. So in the AWS cloud, when you are creating the machines, several types of machines will be available. 1 GB RAM machines will be available. Okay, 4 GB RAM machines will be available. 8 GB RAM machines will be available. Okay, and 16 GB RAM up to 100 GB, 1000 GB RAMs available. AWS people is giving 1 GB RAM machine for free of cost. So here we need to be careful. So in the AWS, there are several types of machines available to set up the virtual machine, but all are not free. Some services are free, some are not free. So we need to identify which is free. We will use that for our practice so that we don't need to pay any bill amount. So in the EC2, several types of machines available. 1 GB RAM, 2 GB RAM, 4 GB, 8 GB, 16 GB, 32 GB, like that. We are going to use 1 GB RAM machine, which is free of cost. That is used for our practice. In the real time, 1 GB RAM machine will not be used. Minimum 8 GB, 16 GB RAM machines will be used in the real time. But here, if I use that 16 GB RAM for the practice, bill will be generated in the AWS cloud. So we don't want to get that bill, right? That's why we will use free tier services now. Free tier machines, which machine is eligible for free tier? That machine we are going to use for our practice. Are you clear with my point? How we are going to do the Linux practice in our course? Are you guys clear with my point? How we are going to practice Linux?
Yes, sir.
Yes. We are going to log in into AWS. We will log in into our AWS cloud account. In the AWS cloud, there is a service called EC2 service available. By using that EC2 service, we will create one Linux machine and we will connect with that Linux machine from our Windows machine. So here we are having a laptop. Our laptop is based on the Windows operating system. Okay, Windows machine. Windows machine. Now my Linux machine will be available in the AWS cloud. Tomorrow also in the company, Docker server will be available in the EC2 machine. Jenkins will be available in the EC2. Kubernetes will be available in the EC2. SonarQube will be available on the EC2. We are using Windows machine. From our Windows machine, we need to communicate with the Linux machine. The connection that we are making from the Windows to Linux is called SSH connection. Okay, so we have the account in the AWS now. In the AWS cloud, we will create one Linux machine. Now we need to use that Linux machine. How we will use that Linux machine? From our Windows machine, we will connect with that Linux machine. Okay, we already have the Windows machine. Now I will log in into my AWS cloud account. Then I will create the machine in the AWS. Now I want to connect with my AWS machine. Okay, to connect with that AWS machine, I'm going to use SSH connection. To make this SSH connection, there are several SSH client softwares are available. What are the SSH client softwares available? You can use Git Bash to do the connection. You can use Mobile Extreme to do the connection. You can use Putty also to do the connection. Okay, so there are 3 different softwares available. By using these softwares, you can access Linux machine from the Windows. From the Windows machine, if you want to connect with the Linux machine, you can use Git Bash, or you can use Mobile Extra, or you can use Putty. These three softwares are called as SSH client softwares. What are these three softwares available? These three softwares are called as SSH client softwares. By using any one of these software, we can connect from Windows machine to Linux machine. Anybody using these softwares in the real time to connect with the Linux machines?
Yes, I am using right now.
Yes.
Which one you are using? Putty? Which
Putty,
software you are using to connect with the Linux machine?
Putty,
I have
right
used
now Putty, Super Putty also.
Okay, Putty and Super Putty you are using to connect with the Linux machine. Anyone? Ajaz is using Mobile Extra. Very good.
Git bash.
You are using Git Bash to connect with the Linux machine. Very good.
Mobile system.
You are using Mobile Extra. Yes, these are the famous softwares which are used for SSH connection. So if you want to connect from Windows machine to Linux machine, then we are going to make a SSH connection. To make that SSH connection, SSH client softwares will be used. What are the SSH client softwares available? Git Bash, Mobile Extra, Putty. Any one you can use, guys. In the company, they will not force. You have to use only this. You have to use only Putty. You have to use only Mobile. No. It's up to you which tool is comfortable for you, which tool you feel easy, user-friendly. That tool you can use in order to communicate with the Linux machine. Okay, so what we are going to do, first step, the procedure what we are going to do is Linux machine setup. So first step 1, login into AWS cloud account. Everybody should have their own account. Then step 2, connect with setup, create EC2 instance, create EC2 instance which is Linux VM. One EC2 instance we are going to create. Then step 3, connect with the EC2 instance by using Git Bash. Connect with the EC2 instance using SSH client. Okay, when I say SSH client, you can use Git Bash, you can use Mobile Extra, or you can use Putty. Anything is fine. Then once you are able to connect with the Linux machine, then step 4, Linux practice. Practice Linux commands. Practice Linux commands. Working with the Linux machine, nothing but working with Linux commands only. Sir, what is the meaning of learning Linux? Learning Linux means you are going to learn how to use Linux commands. You are going to use how to work with Linux commands. Are you guys able to follow me?
Yes.
So what is the procedure? Linux VM setup, Linux machine setup approaches. How to set up Linux machine? How to set up Linux machine? Okay, there are 3 ways available. We are going to follow the third approach to set up the Linux machine. So here, process, working process, setup procedure, set up Linux VM in AWS cloud. So everyone should have the account in the AWS cloud. Log in into your AWS cloud account. Then create one EC2 instance in the AWS cloud. Then connect with that EC2 instance using SSH client. Then once you connect with the Linux machine, then you can practice the Linux commands. Are you clear with my point? Are you guys clear with my point? Yes. Linux machine setup in the AWS cloud. So you need to have AWS account. I hope everyone having the account. Anyone who has not created the account in the AWS, please create the account in the AWS. Once you have account in the AWS, you need to create one EC2 instance. Then you need to connect with the EC2 instance by using SSH client. Once you are able to connect with the Linux machine, then we can practice Linux commands. So as you can see in the diagram, so in the AWS EC2 service we will use to set up a Linux machine. Then that machine 1 year free, monthly 750 hours free of cost. So whatever the machine we are creating in the AWS, which is called EC2 instance, or we can call it as a server, we can call it as a virtual box, we can call it as EC2 VM. So once that machine is ready, then we will connect to that machine by using Git Bash, Mobile Extra, Putty, or some client softwares are available. You can use any one of this and you can connect to that. Okay, can you guys do this task as an assignment before coming to tomorrow's session? Setting up the Linux virtual machine. Can you take this as a task for today?
Okay.
I will give you
Yes,
video
sir.
for the reference.
Yes,
So
sir.
in the
We'll do
tomorrow
that.
session, I will show you how to create the Linux machine, how to connect with that. So before coming to tomorrow session, I want you people to do some experiment on that. Before coming to the tomorrow session, I want you people to do some experiment on that. So here I'm giving the videos for reference, guys. These are the short videos I have prepared for quick reference purpose. So AWS account setup video is available in our YouTube. Anyone who don't have account in the AWS, this video is just a 2 minutes video. By watching this video, you can understand how to set up account in the AWS cloud, and Linux machine, how to set up a Linux machine in the AWS, how to connect with the Linux machine by using Git Bash. You can go through this video and you can understand. So anyhow, again, I'm going to discuss these topics in the tomorrow session. Just I want you people to try first. So in the project course, guys, first I will give the chance for you to try the things. Then in the next day, I'm going to explain the concept. So by watching these videos, if you can complete the assignment, your self-learning skills are improving. That is the main important part. Because for next 3 months, I will be there with you. I will teach you the concepts. I will do the code. I will give you the code. I will explain. I will debug. Everything you will get easily. But after 3 months, course will complete. You will go to office. Then nobody will be there to help you. So if any new requirement comes, you need to learn, you need to analyze, you need to implement. So here, the most important part is you should become independent. You should become self-learner. You should be able to learn the new concepts on your own. You should be able to implement those concepts in the project. Then you will get the confidence to survive. You can easily survive if you are a self-learner. So I will make you that self-learner also. Independent developer, quick learner, self-learner, all these skills are required for you. Okay, so why I am giving these videos for your reference purpose? Why these videos I'm giving you for reference purpose is, so by watching these videos, if you do the practice, that means you are learning the concepts on your own. By watching some video, you are doing this practice. So if you are able to do it, then happy. If you are not able to do it, you will understand where is the problem. Tomorrow, when I do the same thing in the class, then you will get the better clarity. You will get the better understanding. You can ask more questions also. So this video is used to set up the account in the AWS cloud. Let me show you this, guys. In our YouTube channel, all these videos are available. So for student speak reference purpose, I recorded these videos and uploaded in our channel. So AWS account setup video, 2 minutes duration only. Within 2 minutes, you can understand how to create account in the AWS cloud. Okay, here I have explained that part. And then the next video, how to create Linux machine in the AWS by using EC2, and how to connect with that Linux machine by using Git Bash. This is one video. How to connect with the EC2 instance by using Git Bash client. This is 5 minutes video. In this video, I have explained how to create one EC2 instance in the AWS cloud, how to connect with that EC2 instance by using Git Bash. That is the second video. And third video, how to connect with the EC2 instance by using Mobile Extra. Okay, 3 SSH client softwares. Some people will use Git Bash, some people will use Mobile Extra, some people will use Putty, right? So all the 3 softwares I have explained. How to launch EC2 instance in the AWS cloud, how to connect with the EC2 instance by using Mobile Extra. 8 minutes video is available. Similarly, how to work with Putty. Okay, that video is also there. So total 4 videos are available for you. So I'm expecting that you people will do the practice of these 3 approaches before coming to tomorrow's session. So that tomorrow I will set up one Linux machine in my AWS cloud and we will do the Linux commands practice. Today's assignment. Okay. AWS account setup, Linux machine with Git bash, Linux machine with mobile extra, Linux machine with putty. Are you able to follow me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I hope you got the task for today. What you need to do for today.
Sir,
This is the
among these
task for you
three,
people, guys.
among
sir, sure.
these three SSH clients, sir, which one is you have recommended?
So I will use Git bash.
Okay,
Anything
sir.
is fine, sir. All are same. Just the
Which
commands.
we are going to use in project.
Yes, we are going to use these things in the projects also. Yes.
No, means like which SSH client we are going
Git
to use
bash
in
I will
project. Like
use.
we
Git
discuss.
bash.
Git bash. Okay.
So GitBash is a application or a
It's a software, sir. It is a software that you can download and install it.
okay.
Git bash is a software that you can download and you can install that. All of you agreed for the completing the today's assignment, guys. Like this, every day I will be giving some task for you people. You have to do it. So you should not think this is a course. Everything faculty has to explain. Faculty will explain some points and faculty will give some assignments also. You have to complete those assignments.
Ashok sir, will you upload the notes today? Or...
Yes, sir. Today I will upload the notes, sir. With this, our free classes were completed. I will tell you the process for enrollment also.
Okay.
Sir, actually, I have one question. I posted on the chat.
Sure, sir. I will check this. Yeah, I will share the assignment in the chat box. Sure.